Femke Bol just did something that has the entire track world arguing. And some fans think it's one of the smartest decisions of her career. Others think she's risking everything she built. Because less than a year ago, Femke Bol was the undisputed queen of the 400-meter hurdles, world champion, Olympic gold medalist, one of the most dominant athletes on the planet. She had already conquered her event. She had already beaten almost everyone worth beating, and then she walked away from it. Not because she was struggling, not because she was losing, because she wanted something harder, something most athletes would never dare attempt. The 800 meters, a race that has destroyed the dreams of countless world-class runners. And now, just months after making that shocking decision, something unbelievable happened. Femke Bol stepped onto her home track in Hengelo and beat some of the best 800-meter runners in the world. Not in her 10th race. Not after years of experience. In just her third professional 800-meter race. And that's why people are suddenly asking a question nobody expected to ask this year. Did Femke Bol just create a problem for the entire women's 800-meter division? Because what happened in Hengelo wasn't supposed to happen this quickly. 5 days earlier, she was still learning, still experimenting, still finishing second in Ostrava. Then she came home to the Netherlands, and everything changed. With thousands of Dutch fans watching, Femke lined up against proven international stars, former world champions, Diamond League winners, athletes who have spent their entire careers mastering the 800 meters, athletes who know every trick, every tactical move, every painful lesson this event can teach. Femke knew almost none of it, yet somehow she still won. And the way she won may be the most frightening part of all, because she wasn't hanging on for dear life, she wasn't surviving. She was learning in real time, making adjustments, controlling the race. And when Australia's Abby Caldwell tried to challenge her in the final straight, Femke found another gear. The crowd exploded. The stadium erupted, and suddenly one of the biggest stories in athletics wasn't about the 400-meter hurdles anymore. It was about what Femke Bol might become next. Because if she's already winning world-class 800-meter races after only 3 attempts, what happens when she actually masters the event? That's the question making her rivals nervous. And the answer could change women's middle-distance running forever.
Sha'Carri Richardson might be the biggest name in women's sprinting. But right now, she's losing the argument. Because while fans still talk about her world title, her Olympic medals, and her superstar status, the women around her keep winning. And that's what makes the next few weeks so dangerous. For the first time in years, Sha'Carri Richardson is walking into a season with something she hasn't faced before. Doubt, a lot of people won't say it publicly, but they're asking the same question. Has women's sprinting already moved on without her? Think about it. Melissa Jefferson Wooden is the reigning world champion, Julian Alfred is the Olympic champion, and Sha'Carri Jackson. Even after injuries, she keeps reminding everyone why she's one of the greatest sprinters of her generation. Meanwhile, Sha'Carri is still searching for the form that made her untouchable in Budapest. And that's why what happens next could define her entire season, because this story wasn't supposed to go this way. Back in 2019, Sha'Carri Richardson looked unstoppable. At LSU, she ran 10.75 seconds to win the NCAA title. A collegiate record, an American under-20 record, one of the fastest times ever run by a teenager. Track and field had found its next superstar. Then came 2021. She won the Olympic trials. She earned her place on the team, and then everything changed. A suspension cost her the chance to compete at the Tokyo Olympics. Instead of becoming an Olympic star, she watched from home. The momentum disappeared overnight for a while. Nobody knew if she'd ever fully recover from it. Then came 2023, and everything changed again. At the World Championships in Budapest, Sha'Carri Richardson delivered the greatest performance of her career. Running from an outside lane, she shocked the world with a championship record 10.65 seconds. She defeated Sha'Carri Jackson, she defeated Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, and she finally became world champion. At that moment, she wasn't chasing greatness, she was greatness. But sprinting moves fast, and the sport never waits. The Paris Olympics in 2024 didn't go as planned. Julian Alfred captured gold. Sha'Carri settled for silver. Then injuries disrupted her 2025 campaign. At the World Championships in Tokyo, she barely reached the final. When the race was over, she finished 5th, not 1st, not 2nd, 5th. And while Sha'Carri struggled, Melissa Jefferson Wooden exploded. She broke Richardson's championship record and took the world title. The crown had a new owner, then came 2026, and things got worse. In Shanghai, Sha'Carri lined up against Shericka Jackson in the 200 meters. Jackson looked strong, confident, dangerous. She won in 22.07 seconds. Sha'Carri finished fourth, more than 0.3 of a second behind. For most athletes, that's just another race. For Sha'Carri Richardson, it was a warning sign because every loss adds pressure. Every defeat fuels the conversation, and every race makes people wonder if her best days are already behind her. Now comes the biggest test yet, the Prefontaine Classic Hayward Field, the track where Sha'Carri built some of her greatest victories, the place where she won national titles, the place where she looked unbeatable. But this time is different because she's not arriving as the favorite, Melissa Jefferson. Wooden is waiting, the reigning world champion, the woman who dominated 2025, the athlete. Many people now consider the fastest woman on the planet, and if Sha'Carri loses again, the questions become impossible to ignore. But if she wins, everything changes. One race can silence doubters. One race can restart a career. One race can remind the world exactly who Sha'Carri Richardson is. The talent never disappeared. The speed never disappeared. But in women's sprinting, reputation means nothing once the gun goes off. Now the clock is ticking. The critics are watching. The champions are waiting. And Sha'Carri Richardson has one more chance to prove she still belongs at the very top. Because if she can't do it now, the sprint world may finally have a new queen.